We are on Act 2, which is November 10th to the 20th. So that's going to be the focus of these week's episodes. So I officially finished week 1. I took yesterday off. I did some nano, but not what I normally do, only because I was so tired at the end of the week. I was like, well, forget it. I'm still going to make my quota according to the nano graph thingy on the website. But I did print out Act 1. As you can see, I'm gonna put my little tabs because I have tabs over here that I'm gonna. But look at this. It's in print and it's double sided. It's double sided. It's crazy. But I did work on printing it. I had a half day at work today, so I was able to do it. But with that being said, we're gonna get started real soon. I should have started this video earlier today, but I went to Panera Bread, got some lunch, and I worked on a teensy bit, but not as much as I usually do. I got wrapped up in the newest season of She-Ra Princess of Power, which I know it's a kid's show, but the stakes in this season was higher than the previous season, and we get introduced to a gender fluid character. I mean, not gender fluid, what they call him, non-binary character, who was amazing as an anti-hero slash villain. And it was a great season. I mean, it's only a couple episodes long, so I just sat there while I was at, doing my half day at work and did listen to it and watch some episodes. So that was good. But I had to get focused on Nano. So it's kind of sucks because I wanted to get into it, but then I was like really tired yesterday, which is why I didn't do much of a writing or a recording yesterday. And then today I got off of work and I'm still a little tired, so I'm gonna get started in a minute. What I'm figuring out for my schedule is the weekends will probably be harder for me to work than during the week because the weekends are my day off of work. So usually, yeah, I'm that's my days to relax, and I think that's how my body works. I'm just too tired sometimes. I mean, I did do Saturday to finish it up, and Sunday I got started. But when I looked at my outline, Act 2 has, let me just pull it back out. Act 2 had, I almost dropped something. Jeez, if I had dropped over that seltzer water. Okay, so Act 2 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the climax, 6 chapters in Act 2, and I have 10 days to write on schedule. So I figured what I'm going to do is split those chapters, and I'm probably going to have a lot more content in Act 2 because it's only 6 chapters long, and then I'm going to finish up Act 3, which has, I think, like 8 chapters in it. So I think I'm on track, and I can at least afford 2 or 3 days off, or maybe, the Sundays, parts of Sunday off during the week for Nano. And that kind of works out because we know that Thanksgiving's on November 28th. I'm looking at the calendar. Thanksgiving, November 28th, November 29th. I'm sure everybody's going to want to go Black Friday shopping. I usually just do Cyber Monday and buy everything online. And then the 30th, I know my family's going to want to do the family bowling, which I hate bowling. I really do. But I'll go just to support everybody else. I'm hoping they have like go-karts or something at this big family fun center we're going to. But anyway, that's enough about my personal life. Let's get started. So this was a really slow day. I think I jinxed myself because I was doing so well in Act 1, and then Act 2, it's like, I know what the climax, or parts of the climax are supposed to be, and it's like I'm coming up a blank, and it's driving me freaking insane. I don't know what to do, but I have to end this stream, or this video early because I can't figure it out for the life of me. Like, I'm close to the quota, but I just feel like I'm padding. And I know this is a first draft, so there are going to be scenes on there that make no freaking sense whatsoever, but I want them to connect in a way that at least makes sense. But like I'm saying, this is getting slow. So I'm gonna end this now, and then I'm gonna work again tomorrow. So we are on day. You know what? It doesn't even matter. We're on like November. Today's like November the 12th. Why did I look at my calendar? It's right there on my laptop. I'm really tired today. Gee, my glasses aren't on. I'm about to grab my glasses. I actually wrote like 500 something words at work, and then just pulling it out now. And then I still wrote this morning, and dear God, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm dealing with that midsection slump that I've heard about. I first heard about it from what was that thing called? Creative Writing Career Podcast with Cam Weiland, and she talks about the mid slumps. I mean, everybody goes through it. I heard. It's really annoying because I think I know what I want to do, but then I don't know what I want to do, because here's the thing. Here's my. Where in the bloody heck are my glasses? Oh, here they are. So here's the thing. I have 8. Let's see. I have chapters, and the chapters, the way I scheduled them, are really 8 days long, and I scheduled my Nano for 10 days. So now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, one, what the bleep did I do to deserve this? And two, how am I going to get through this mid season slump? Because really sneeze is way too loud. I have to figure out how am I going to get through this mid slump. I have an idea, and I think it's going to be the secondary main character's arc or whatever mini problem they have to go through, and then the main character, she's just in the background for these particular chapters, because it's really like a cause and effect for these two characters. Like, he's dealing with the consequence of his actions right now, and she's just kind of like learning to forgive him for his actions. So that's kind of where I'm at in this span of things. It's really annoying because I have an idea, but then I don't. And I think it's because this is slightly romance, and then it's a paranormal romance, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out. And I think what I did was, and you know, they talk about this all the time, where you cheat yourself sometimes with characterization. I don't think I cheated myself, but you know, you kind of know who your characters are, but they evolve over time. And in my characters, I think in this particular stage, are evolving. You go from this like dude who has an ability. He uses this ability to keep the world going, and now, you know, how should I put it? It's almost, his whole arc is he's been bitter or angry about his wife's death I don't want to move this camera, but sometimes I'm gonna have to. He was so angry about his wife's death for so long, he doesn't know how to adapt almost to other people. Here it is. I was looking for my paper holder. It's almost like he doesn't know how to adapt, and that people do change. And in this particular story, it's a little more complicated than, I found a new person to love. It's like this whole mystical thing that goes with it that I'm still kind of fleshing out in the story. Like, I didn't mean for the story to turn into this, but it kind of did. So it was like, okay, my brain went, okay, I'm just going to roll with it. No matter how much my logic side is going, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And again, this is the first draft. I have to kind of push myself to realize this is the first draft, so it's going to kind of not make sense, but eventually those things come together through the writing process. And you just hear all this crumbling around, but that's me working on my paper holder. But all right, I'm done rambling. Let's get started. made my work quota. I'm getting the handle of what I want to do, but I'm still going through the second act slump. The one thing that's actually helping me is that a lot of the author tubers I already watch are going through their own sprints. So it's helping me, kind of like competing with others, because somebody is writing in 15-minute intervals and we talk for 5 minutes, another 15-minute. It kind of like gets your brain stop and start and stop and start. So I see why a lot of people do sprints. It actually keeps your focus a little better, but I can't do that every day. I wish more author tubers did it, but I know they're not going to, because nano is a tough thing to do. So with that being said, I was going through Aphrodite Lee's video sprints, and it's actually helping me. And now I'm going to watch Kate Kavanaugh's update on her nano. I don't know how she does it. She writes these videos every day. She edits every day. And I think it's because her work schedule is probably different than mine. I can't just sit and edit videos for X amount of hours, only because I do work full time. So, well, I'm not saying she doesn't work full time. I don't know, but I think her schedule's just different than mine, which is why I'm doing week-long videos rather than an everyday thing, because it's really hard when you get up, get dressed, make breakfast, fix your lunch, and then go to work, then have to come home, then record, then do all this. It's just easier to do for me on the weekends. So I'm gonna wrap it up for today, and I'll talk again tomorrow. November 13th. I'm still in my Act 2 slump, and I think part of it, when I sat there at work today and thought about it, I think it has something to do with the fact that I only have 6 chapters for Act 2, and then I want to focus on Act 2 and then work on Act 3, and there's 10 days to work on it. Now, normally, yes, anybody should be under a crap load of pressure the whole time, but I think part of it has to do with the fact that I think I pigeonholed myself a little bit, but what I'm going to do is I split up the chapters, but I'm still going to make my work quota. So like I'm thinking Act 2 and Act 3, since they're smaller smaller number of chapters, are going to have longer chapters. And I think that's going to be better, because Act 1 is more of establishing the world, the characterization, the personality. Act 2, as we know, is supposed to be the climax of your story, and Act 3 is the resolution to your story. Now, it does help that I wrote the outline version of Take Your Pants Off by Libby Hawk, and then I also, trying to think, the actual 3-act structure. There are like a lot of books on how to write the 3-act structure, but it doesn't mean you're always going to follow that to a T. So I'm not 100% following this like a T, especially now that I looked at my outline. I should have realized this when I got into this, that I did not have enough chapters to sustain the story. I don't really want to split up the chapters, and the reason for that is because I know I'm going to throw myself off, because that means I'm going to sit here and get on there and rewrite all of it. And no, it's not going to work for me. For some reason, my brain will go, wait a minute, I thought this was, no, wait, this is this chapter. So yeah, I'm going to probably just have to make longer chapters for Acts 2 and 3. And then once I get to the end of NaNoWrimo, we'll see how we do. So got my ramen noodles here because I did not feel like cooking tonight. Didn't feel like warming. It's really weird because I know there's leftovers in there, but I'm not a big leftovers girl. I'm probably going to take that for lunch tomorrow. But anyway, let me get started. Made my work quota for today. I'm gonna keep this short only because I know I have a lot more to do tomorrow. Chapter 11, for the most part, at least the flashback scene I'm using is done. Now I gotta figure out how I'm going to do the next scene tomorrow. Getting up at 8 and starting this at least for an hour is actually helping. It does keep my work quota up. but I still feel like some part of me feels like this is padding. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I am really tired, so I'm going to talk again tomorrow. So today is Thursday, November 14th. I don't know why I keep looking up at the calendar when my freaking computer has the date right there in my face, and I don't look at it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm still going through the same chapter 11, and I'm trying to figure out, like, I did my quota yesterday, so now I gotta pad the crap out of this chapter today, because like I said yesterday, I really don't want to add on more chapters to make it more complicated for myself. And today was a strange day, because, man, I don't know why I feel strange today, but I'm gonna get started soon. Got my little oh wait, that's right, product placement. Got my Pepsi over here, got a hoagie. I'm sorry, for people who don't know what a hoagie is, on the East Coast, like mostly in like Pennsylvania, specifically southeastern Pennsylvania, we call it a hoagie. Everywhere else, they call it a sub. Just like we call it soda, and in Pittsburgh, they call it a pop. We call sneakers, and they call them tennis shoes. So, for all you don't know, I have the other half of my hoagie, or AKA Italian sub, to eat. And I think what I'm going to do is do some sprints, because I feel like the sprints are helping me more than anything else. And we're going to go from there. Right now, I'm kind of getting hooked on this series called Cheese in the Trap, which is a K-drama series, which was originally a webtoon series that got turned into a drama. And I kind of want to watch it, but something tells me in my brain, I'm like, no, don't watch it. Just do the sprints. So I'm debating in my head. I think what I'm going to do is just go on Spotify, pick up some songs, and then go from there and just do a playlist. I mean, I never, you know how everybody else was doing during NaNoWrimo prep, we're doing a playlist so they can have specific songs to listen to. I didn't do a playlist. I just kind of signed up for Spotify, picked all the songs, which, by the way, I have a lot of artists I like, and just kind of went from there for Spotify. Like right now, they had me a whole list of BTS songs. They had all these other Korean pop groups, which I don't even listen. I usually don't listen to Korean pop music. I just like K-dramas. And, well, I like Asian dramas in general, but I gave BTS a try. Pretty good songs. So, yeah, I'm going to listen to that. I don't even know why. I cannot get words in my brain together, and I think it's because of the call center job I work. At this point, my brain is going completely blank. I'm really irritated. I could not watch Kate Kavanaugh's writing sprints video for NaNoWrimo today, and I know why I didn't. It's because I was at work. She lives in Texas. I live in Pennsylvania. 2 different time zones. So it's like 5 o'clock on the East Coast when she was doing it, so I couldn't really get into it. I'm really a little bummed out, but what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just pull up the NaNoWrimo. Because NaNoWrimo, I don't know if anybody know this, but they have their own website. Well, I mean, everybody knows they have a website, but you can actually do the sprints on their website. And I'm actually typing right now. And why can't I think? I just feel like I can't think right now. But I'm gonna do the sprints, and we can kind of go from there, because I think that's the only thing that's really helping me, because it's making my brain go do work. So I'm gonna just do that. Okay, so I just did 1 hour, and I got, I'm putting it up on here, the word count I have. So I'm going to cut it off, because I already ended the chapter, even though it's shorter than the record I usually have for myself, and I think I'm still gonna be okay because I already know how I'm gonna do the rest of the chapters. So I'm gonna end this video here, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. So we are on November. Why do I keep doing that? November 15th, and I'm actually watching a live write-in on YouTube by Sarah Sharwember. I cannot say Sarah Sharnweber. She's gonna kill me one of these days when she watches my recording that I'm getting this wrong. But I decided to do my posting a day during the write-in because I do find it easier to write during the sprints rather than trying to do it at random points while trying to look at YouTube videos. So it's been a tough decision to make, but when it comes to the chapters, because I am splitting up these chapters instead of rewriting them because we are in a nano, I don't want to just mess myself up, which I know it sounds strange to some people and I keep harping on about it, but my brain just will not function well but changing stuff out of order once it's already in the order I put it in. So I'm gonna hope to God that my video does not lag, and I'm gonna get started. I just did a 15-minute sprint and I got 532 words, and then I'm mixing it with the 800 some odd words I just literally did this morning when I got up at 8, but then I started at 9 because I'm going to do an hour of reading. So I'm going to cut the video short because I know I'm probably going to be working until about 12 a.m. and there's only so many gigabytes I can put on my own computer. So I'm going to post the word count on here, and I will chat again with you guys tomorrow. So today is November the 17th, and we're still on Act 2, and my hair looks like a hot mess, and I know why. Every time I get my hair done and then I put a scarf on, all the curls go and then drop, and it's fine. I really don't care because I can always either comb it or, finger comb like I can do here, and the camera's acting up, or just kind of leave it alone. Because here's the thing. I'm not that big of a hair person, but that's not why I'm posting right now. Yesterday was so tiring. We had a church banquet for our pastor, and she has been preaching for over 50 years, and we wanted to show her some love, so we went ahead and did that. But by the time we were finished, I was so exhausted. I just pounded out some words and went to bed. I was too tired to edit. I was too tired to even make a video. So today I'm a little more rejuvenated, even though it's like 9:12 p.m. I'm still gonna do it. What I'm gonna do is a nano sprint. I'm okay. I'm trying to think of words, and my brain's so scrambled right now because we just had a second service. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a sprint, do a 1 hour, and then come back and then post my word count, and we'll go from there. Sundays are the worst for me because usually let's say I wasn't doing nano, I would just be taking Saturdays and Sundays off, and most Saturdays and parts of Sunday off, and then I would go back to writing on Monday. But because Act 2, I'm just looking at the calendar, Act 2 technically ends November the 19th/20th because the 20th is also the day I'm going to start Act 3. I can't just take a break like I want to. So I have 2 more chapters left. And if I do one today, I'm going to have to split up, write all of chapter 13 today. And then chapter 14, I'm going to split up into 2 days because there's so much that happens at the end of Act 2 that I'm probably able to split up the events. So that will help me out. Now, Act 3, it's probably going to be done earlier than the 30th. Even though I have Thanksgiving on the 28th, and then the 29th, I have to, I believe we're supposed to be having some type of bowling. Either 29th or the 30th, we're supposed to be doing, since that whole weekend, you know, it's a 3-day weekend, pretty much. A lot of my family wants to go bowling. Somebody probably wants to go. I love roller skating, but I'm not sure the rest of my family. So we got bowling. We got the 3K run or / walk we're supposed to be doing for MS. And we got Thanksgiving, which means I have to cook. So I have a lot to do. So I'm going to get started and then I'm going to go from there. So that was a 1-hour sprint. I'm going to post the word count. Probably now you're going to see it. I made way over my word count, which I'm actually really surprised. So I'm thinking me reading books, because there's a couple books I've been meaning to read, but I put them on hold for Nano. But I noticed when I read books, I'm actually a better writer. Like Stephen King tells you, writing is the key to being a better author, and I think he's correct. Now, with my word count the way it is, the way it just got set up, I made 20, I'm almost at 30,000 words. I just made 25,000 not too long ago, and I'm up to 30,000 now. So I think I'm probably going to end up being done with Nano earlier than what I thought I am. And it's not exactly a bad thing because I do want to buy one of those NaNoWrimo t-shirts. But I'm not sure if it's 100% a good thing either. But the good thing is if I get it done early, I can at least go back to the manuscript I was originally working on. And then I can go finish outlining the book 2 that was already getting started when NaNoWrimo, not the book 2 I was outlining. And then I can go from there. Now, what I'm thinking this is going to end up being at the end of NaNoWrimo, even though I'm going to print it all out and reread it. First of all, I already know it's going to be crap. I'm not going to joke about that at all. I already know what I'm getting into. But the second thing I'm thinking of when it comes to this series could be this is a 0 draft. And I don't want it to be a 0 draft. I kind of want it to be a first draft, but I have a feeling this is actually a 0 draft and the first draft is coming later. But we'll see. I'm going to cut it now because I'm actually very tired. It's like 10:18 now, and I just want to get some rest because I got to get up to work tomorrow. I want to read a book. When I get up, I want to go to work. I actually want to go to work refreshed because it's the beginning of the week. But we'll see. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Okay, so we are on November 18th, and I kind of broke my one rule about writing chapters in while I've already planned it. And I think I did that because I realized when I rethought about the last scene I wrote, if I didn't add this chapter, it was not going to connect to the rest of the story. Because there is supposed to be some type of subplot in there that's supposed to make them closer. And I figured, I kind of wrote it in there. And then when I thought about it, I mean, I didn't overthink it because one thing I didn't want to do was overthink the scenes. When I overthought it, when I thought about it, I was like, oh, crap. I have to put this in here because then none of the other scenes are going to make sense. So I have a zit on my face and I just realized it. Anyway. Yeah, I'll just put zip remover on there. Yeah, this is gonna bother me for the rest of the night. I'm calling it. But what I'm probably gonna have to do, I have to write the rest of this chapter. I already kind of wrote on it this morning when I woke up, and now I'm gonna do it again. The reason why I don't really record in the morning is because I'm always in the same pajamas every day, and I figured that you guys were gonna get a little bored of me wearing my pajamas every morning and doing my 1 hour, and then I have to sprint and get to work, so it's a little bit of a hassle to do it. But with that being said, I'm gonna get started and we will go from there. So, I believe I made my word quota, and I'm going to put the results up here. You'll see it posted. Adding in this chapter at first was hard, but then it helped that I sat there and thought about it before I started clicking on the page and just padding it out. And I think I'm gonna keep this chapter. The important part of this chapter is to flow with the other chapters, and that's what I want. So I'm so glad I made this new chapter, even though it does make me a little nervous because I don't know how it's gonna play out for the rest of the month. Because we're ending Act 2, I'm gonna print out Act 2, and then we're gonna work on Act 3. So I'm hoping this doesn't throw me off, and I'm hoping I'm not jinxing myself because I have a tendency to do that sometimes. So that's all I'm gonna talk about today, and I will talk again on tomorrow the 19th. Okay, so it is Tuesday, November 19th, and we are at the end of Act 2. So, which pretty much means I'm supposed to have the climax scene before we get to the conclusion. I wrote so much in 1 hour this morning that it was ridiculous to only have so many words left, which is really great. So I'm gonna get started in a minute, and I think it's really great that I just saw all the notifications, and Kate Kavanaugh just got her 50,000 words, and she's only on her 19th day. That's great. I wish I had as much time as she does writing books, but unfortunately I don't. But I want to congratulate her on doing, at least getting to that point. Now, with that being said, it's great, she made that far, but it also makes me think, well, what am I doing that's not getting me to that point? Because she wrote it in 19 days. What the heck am I doing that's not making it get that far? But like they say, every person's different. I work an 8-hour shift, sometimes 10 if I'm working overtime. Then I gotta come home. Then I gotta get ready for tomorrow. Like you see up in the window, we have a plastic shrink wrap that's going over the window for wintertime, so the cold air won't get in. We have to keep taking the air conditioner in and out every year, so that's usually the easy part. We have to do that, and then I got the spare mattress padding over here that's got to be placed on the bed. So I still have stuff to do. So like I said, everybody's situation is different, so I can't say, oh my God, Kate Kavanaugh did that, I should have no problem doing it, because I know that's not realistic. So I'm gonna finish up Act 2. Then eventually I have to get started on Act 3, and that's going to be a whole different story. I'm so glad that I got through at least one of my books that I've been meaning to read, which is one of Millie Taten's books, which is I keep saying it's the Crystal Chronicles, and I don't think it is. It's called the Fae Kingdom series, which is actually different than what she normally writes. I mean, it's still a very sassy, saucy erotica story, but it's like actual got plot. I mean, all her stories kind of have plot, but this one's like a long-standing plot. It's more than, let's say, a quick 2-hour read. This was actual. Her last couple books have been I keep doing this and I don't think it's doing anything. A reread book. With that being, it was good. That's all I'll say. I should update my Goodreads page and actually write opinions on these books, but I don't like giving opinions on books. If I'm continuing to read your book, I feel like I shouldn't have to, because there's not any real criticism for some of these writers. A good chunk of the people I read are erotica writers, and some are like long-standing novel series. Like when I read The Unhewn Throne, I gave no criticism because to me it was a good book. Like there were scenes here and there I got confused, but there's an encyclopedia in the book that explains the wordisms because I got the full package and it was like it's the 3-book volume. I bought the whole Unhewn Throne series. At least the good thing they did was the writer did put in a encyclopedia for me to understand, and they put in a map which pretty much sets up the world building, so that's a good thing. Um, but I mean, so I didn't want to criticize the book because it's good. It's not like it's terrible. I've tried to write a bad story review before and it didn't really work out. Like I wrote a booktuber review over Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and yes, it was bad. It wasn't like, now that I thought about it, it's a bad book, but it's not bad in the oh my god, this is terrible, terrible, I will never read it again. It has plot problems, and I feel like Sarah J. Maas probably needed like a second or third editor because there were plot holes in here, and then there were personality problems that I had, and you can watch my video on it, but like there was stuff in there that were glaring problems to me, and I think that's why I didn't like it. I could see if there were minor problems, and that's why I feel like with writers there can be minor problems and I'll still read your book. But when there's glaring problems where your personality doesn't match your actions, or like with 50 Shades of Grey, which I could not read, even though I do love saucy books, because the first couple paragraphs were so badly grammatically errored, I was like, okay, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Because it's like a pet peeve of mine. I think it's because my family, I have a family full of teachers, so education is like a big thing for us. So when I used to grow up, and I think I know this is probably biased to say this, but you can ask my sister who doesn't really read books as much or write as much, but she loves reading 50 Shades where I can't do it. It was like a real big thing to not dot your I's or cross your T's and fill out all these run-on sentences because you knew you were going to get it later. So it kind of got ingrained in my brain that you need to write complete sentences. And writing is not this formatted thing like it used to be. Writing has changed. That's why people who, read 50 Shades of Grey, they can enjoy the run-on sentences. They can, overlook certain things. I can't do it because it's ingrained in my brain. I can't do that. So that's why I'm not as good as I think that's why I don't always write a review on Goodreads and stuff. I mean, I should. That would probably be a good idea because I'm not good in the communications department when it comes to writing. I should be communicating more. But I feel like it's not there yet where I should be criticizing all of your books, But that being said, I'm going to get started on Act 2 and then I'm going to finish it. So, Act 2 is officially finished. I am going to print it out and put it in my Nano binder tomorrow when I get off of work. But I made way over my work quota, which is great. And I will be posting it shortly. Now, I am actually super happy because I've made over 30,000 words, which means I'm like more than a quarter done of Nano, so I'm very confident that I'm going to make it to 50,000 words. Now, I just wish I had could get my Nano t-shirt, but when I went to the website, it was sold out, which really sucks, but I understand you can only have a certain quantity, and there's only going to be so many winners. Now, I'm going to have to research what you get for winning. I know that, first of all, you get the bragging rights. Secondly, you get the t-shirt. But what happens afterwards? Like, do you publish it? Do you not publish it? I mean, for me, I'm not going to publish it because it's a first draft, so I know it's going to suck. Why would you? I mean, some people can do it. I guess if they're that confident, but I know for a fact you probably shouldn't publish it without significant amount of work done. So I'm gonna, you know, start Act 3 to start Act 3, and I'll chat with you guys again tomorrow.